I know how crucial it is to be ready for any type of weather. So whether the sun's shining or the storms are rolling in, I've got your back, pinpointing the weather down to the minute. Start your day differently. I'm Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Watch News 6 Mornings.
Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood. Now it's 6.
For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far.
That was President Trump speaking earlier today from the Rose Garden ahead of an announcement about sweeping new tariffs. A closer look at how they could impact you and your family. Plus,
I can't believe it really happened. That I got a gun pulled on me.
A fishing trip ends with two boys staring down the barrel of a neighbor's gun. Hear them explaining what went wrong. Matt.
And this is what Oviedo is known for. Beautiful, small town, rural, but this place is growing and quickly. What the next 20 years could look like coming up.
But we begin tonight with our top story out of Washington, D.C. More tariffs that could impact you and your family announced by President Trump less than 2 hours ago. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Bell.
And I'm Emily McLeod. The president is imposing what are called reciprocal tariffs. So in a nutshell, he wants to raise U.S. tariffs to match what other countries charge on American exports. News 6's Mike Valenti joins us live now in the studio. Mike, walk us through what's behind this move.
Yeah, so the president is characterizing this as a declaration of economic independence in an effort to grow American manufacturing and become less reliant on foreign trade. So the White House says the 10% tariffs on all countries will take effect at midnight in just a number of hours. The individualized reciprocal higher tariff will take effect midnight, April 9th. Emily?
All right, Mike, thank you. In addition to the tariffs Mike just mentioned, last week Trump announced that auto vehicles and auto parts imported into the U.S. would be subject to a 25% tariff raise. That's set to go into effect in just a few hours as well at midnight.
Now, I researched some of the top items that could be most affected by these tariffs. Some of them you may use every day. So here's what we're talking about. Everything from agriculture and food prices, including apples and grapes, to vehicles, as well as car parts, construction materials, even insurance premiums could go up because as auto prices go up, so does the need for more insurance coverage. I asked correspondent Karen Kafa in Washington, D.C., who may see the biggest impacts from this.
Well, it's typically the low and middle income Americans who will be feeling the squeeze the most, right? Those who have to be very cost conscious about their spending. That's where this will start to play into the economy overall because of consumer spending.
So, it is interesting. It seems like pretty much every industry could be impacted by this. We'll see when we'll actually start seeing the effects of that, because it could take some time before you actually start to see higher prices at the supermarket or at the car lot. But we know that some people are already thinking about this a lot.
Absolutely.
We've seen that people have been rushing out to buy new vehicles, concerned that the prices of those may be going up.
Definitely.
Yeah. And so right now on clickorlando.com, we have several resources for you if you're looking for more information about how these tariffs could impact your day-to-day life. And that includes this article by News 6 content gatherer Patty Tolley about how tariffs could impact Florida's tourism. You can find that by typing the word tourism in the search bar right on our homepage.
Well, we'll be waiting for that to
Absolutely. You can hear the terror, basically, in the voices of those boys. So it's going to be interesting once we hear her side of the story, for sure. Well, we do want to check back in now with News 6 anchor Matt Austin, who is continuing our Hits the Road coverage this week.
Yeah, he's live at a really cool spot tonight. Looks gorgeous out there. That a lot of people in Oviedo like to hang out. And Matt, you're talking about growth this evening.
That's right. It's rural. It's beautiful around here at the Black Hammock along the shores of Lake Jessup. But when it comes to growth, the main driver for planning for the growth of these cities is actually something called BEBR. And it has nothing to do with this guy. It's actually the Bureau of Economic and Business Research. And they basically tell these cities how many people they have to account for in the coming decades. And those cities must accommodate. Now, the city took years trying to come up with this plan. They had plenty of public comment and meetings about it, and this is the result. One of the big things they have to tackle is affordable housing. The average median sales price for a home in Oviedo is now more than $500,000. So if you're a 24 or 25-year-old getting your first or second job out of college, it's going to be pretty impossible to find a house to live in Oviedo. So a lot of these new housing opportunities will be apartments and mixed use. So maybe some people in lower income brackets will have a chance to be able to live in Oviedo. Ladies.
Yeah, Matt, it was surprising when you told us that number earlier today, $500,000, yet it still continues to boom. And to Melissa's point, I mean, you build the infrastructure, that's just going to attract even more and more people, right? So it's like, what do you do first? Do you build it and even more people will come, or do you try and hold off?
Now, the city selected those particular areas because, A, they're zoned to be able to accommodate that growth, and they're also areas where the streets and the water management might be able to handle those thousands of extra people, and they're starting to work on that already, and they will be for years to come. Water management, though,
that's a key phrase there, because as we continue to see developments like that all across Central Florida, we tend to see the ripple effects.
It's a big part of it.
From that, All right, Matt, thank you. I will be back in Oviedo tomorrow as part of our live Hits the Road coverage. I'm going to take you inside a hidden gem in the community. It has to do with pinball.
Sounds fun.
It is fun. So make sure to tune in tomorrow on News 6, clickorlando.com, and the News 6 Plus streaming app for your smart TV.
All right, new at 6, Florida's famed sales tax holidays could be on the chopping block this year. For those of you new to the state, on your screen right now are some of the sales tax holidays in Florida that we've experienced in the past. Disaster Preparedness Sales Tax Holiday helps ahead of hurricane season. Freedom Month applied to outdoor items and entertainment, but we've also had back-to-school sales tax holidays and another called Tool Time. The trade-off here would be a permanent cut in sales taxes. Today, a key House committee approved a $5.4 billion package that includes a proposal to lower the state sales tax rate from 6% to 5.25%. If approved, this would be the first time in 16 years the state does not offer sales tax holidays. To me, it just doesn't feel right because of the ritual of the back-to-school sales tax holiday.
The hurricane sales tax holiday. But if you could have a year-round little holiday, mini holiday, I don't know. I think a lot of people
would add up
like
over
that.
time, too. So I definitely see both sides. But for me, the nostalgic part of me is you went back to school shopping as a kid. It was
that 1 week.
That 1 week,
right? Yeah. All right, we do want to check in now with meteorologist Jonathan Kagas, who is standing by, pinpointing another hot day for us. Jonathan.
Yeah, really hot, guys. We are also pinpointing just a couple of thunderstorms, most of these north of Marion County, but a couple of lightning strikes right on line. We were talking about where these guys would be yesterday at this time. We'll talk about where these are headed and the heat building for the rest of the work week coming up.
All right, Jonathan, also ahead budget cuts that could change the way your student plans out their future. News 6's Laverne McGee has been closely following the developments coming out of Tallahassee and is breaking down what parents need to know.
And for the first time in more than a decade, we are sending our Florida Gators off to the Final Four when they take on their fellow #1 seeds, and how to watch. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching News 6 at 6, getting results for Eatonville, Lake Mary, and all of Central Florida. We will be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Advent Health, helping the communities we serve to feel whole.
Stream News 6 whenever you want. Sponsored by T-Mobile. Watch news, weather, and special investigations on your time. You can even tune in to your favorite News 6 podcast. Download News 6 Plus to your smart TV now.
Developing now, parents and students are worried about possible cuts to advanced academic classes in high school. A lot of kids take them to try and save money or get into top universities.
But News 6's Laverne McGee has been closely monitoring the developments at our state capitol and tells us there could be a big cut in Tallahassee's upcoming budget.
All right, we want to check in now with News 6 meteorologist Jonathan Kagas, who is pinpointing really a hot stretch of weather for us.
Yeah, really hot, and it's aided in the pop-up storms we've had over the past couple of days. Most of us are dry right now. Radar is scanning our skies, except for one spot right on the Marion County line. We'll take you a little closer in there tonight, and we're watching again where we see that spiral there from the radar picture go through. Couple of lightning strikes for us right on the Marion County line. These are going to continue to push from about Ocala and just north of Ocala towards Micanopy tonight, and that'll continue to push from east to west. So a little bit opposite of where we were last night at this time. We will continue to watch those push off to the west as well. There's 7, 8 o'clock tonight on our evening. Again, most of us are going to be dry. If you have plans to be outside tonight, there is lunchtime tomorrow, just a few passing clouds. If you are taking lunch outside tomorrow afternoon, it will be on the hot side again. Temperatures pushing 90 for the third consecutive day. That's 6 o'clock on your Thursday evening. It's still going to be a little muggy, just a few passing clouds out there. But again, most of us are going to be now dry from this point on, with the exception of those few lingering downpours that we have out there right now for us in Marion County. Beautifully blue skies out there in Orlando, a little bit different from where we've been over the past couple of nights. That's a live look again in downtown Orlando with our Light Orlando delivering Hope Skycam. We're back to the mid-80s. The breeze has picked up a little bit out of the east-southeast at about 13 miles an hour. Factor in that humidity, and it does feel like it's 90 degrees again outside. We are at 81 in New Smyrna, 90 on the nose in Wildwood, also 90 for us in Bushnell. Good evening in Palm Bay. We are at 83 just up the road in Melbourne. We're checking in at 80 degrees. Now here's a look at your pinpoint. Accurate forecast.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency, you ought to call Strata.
Temperatures tomorrow getting back into the lower 70s. We'll see 70 degrees to start things off in the Villages, right around 70 in Palm Coast as well. Mount Dora and Eustis tomorrow, pinpointing you guys. We're starting things off again pretty muggy, all things considered, at least for early April standards. We're back to the low 70s to start, and then by 2 o'clock under a mainly sunny sky, we are pushing 90 degrees again. Rain chances go back to 0. We're touching 91 in Grove, a little bit warmer on the 75 corridor. We're back to 92 degrees along into most of Sumter County. That heat over the next couple of days will continue to build as well. That big blue H, it's a big chunk of high pressure at about 15 to 20,000 feet above our head. And what that does as it builds, it helps the air to sink a little bit. When air sinks, it warms up. So we're going to get that compressional heating, as we call it. It's also going to deflect any kind of cooler air that you see here in blue. It's going to keep that back to the northwest, and that's going to allow us to really heat up over the next few days again. Hanging around 90 Thursday, Friday. We're going to jump into the lower 90s. But you see a couple of things that are a little different by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. The cold fronts are not done yet. So if you're not a fan of the summer-like feel showing up in early April, we still have a little bit of cooler weather to go. And even beyond the 7-day forecast, we're now looking at April 10th through 16th. Still that blue color here by the Climate Prediction Center, representing the opportunity for some below normal temperatures. So again, we're not flipping the switch to summer just yet. Now look at your pinpoint accurate 7-day forecast. There are those 90-degree days, mostly dry days as well. 40% shot for rain on Monday. That's with that front that'll take us back into the 70s, guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Sports director Jamie Say is here, and the Final Four is starting to feel real for the Florida Gators.
Yeah, sure is. I mean, Florida basketball's biggest game in years is just 3 days away. We go to Gainesville coming up. Plus, we catch up with the one Central Floridian who was in this bobsled, helping push it to a top 5 finish at the World Championships recently. A chat with Seminole County's Olympic hopeful is on the way. Florida Gator basketball won a national championship in Indianapolis in 2006, won a national championship in Atlanta in 2007, and now it's hoping to win one in San Antonio this weekend. The Gators left for the Final Four just hours ago. UF threw the team a send-off party. The Gators boarded buses bound for the airport and flew to San Antonio. Florida takes on Auburn in the Final Four Saturday at 6:09. It's followed by Duke versus Houston. You can watch both games on News 6. Well, Central Florida may be flirting with 90 degrees this week, but this Seminole County native has winter on his mind, specifically next winter. Josh Williamson is a member of Team USA's four-man bobsled. Josh and his teammates are in the midst of qualifying for the 2026 Winter Olympics in Italy. It would be his second Olympic Games. A few weeks ago, Williamson pushed his sled to a fourth-place finish in the International Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation Championships in Lake Placid, a terrific showing for Team USA as competition to make the Games heats up. We caught up with Josh today. The Seminole High School grad is spending time at his parents' home in Lake Mary before heading back to Placid to gear up for the Games.
It just gets a lot more exciting, and frankly, the competition level just raises across the board from everybody internationally, but even within the nation trying to make the team. And then internationally, you just see the level of pushing gets faster and the driving gets better, and everybody just seems to show up the Olympic year. We finished 10th last time, which we were happy with, but obviously you want to do better. You want to be in the top 6. You especially want to try to get on the podium, and that's kind of what our goals are this time around, is we want to try to fight to bring the U.S. back to a prominent place in the sport. It's really fun to just share this with my hometown, especially being bobsledding, which isn't particularly something you'd expect from being around here. So it's just kind of fun. I want to be able to give people a reason to tune into the games.
Oh, and we're absolutely going to tune into the games to watch him work his magic with that sled. The funny thing is, he was a lacrosse player at high school at Seminole High and kind of fell into this through a reality television show, and he's been a successful bobsledder for years now.
It's a weird thing to fall into here in Central Florida.
Yes, it is, because he grew up in Lake Mary.
Yeah. All right,
Love
Jamie,
that.
thank you. You can catch more local news on our new 6 Plus Smart TV app coming up next.
It's available on Roku, Amazon, Fire TV, Apple TV, and you can also watch on clickorlando.com and our YouTube channel.
Breaking news, traffic. When you need to know what's going on in your neighborhood, trust Sky 6 to get the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.